And thanks for inviting us in. It is 6 o'clock on this Friday night. I'm Scott Swan, and covering the Winter Olympics. We want to begin tonight with new charges filed in the death of Beech Grove police officer Brian Elliott. As you know, he was shot and killed Monday while responding to a domestic disturbance at an apartment complex in Beech Grove. Tonight, Ashton Hackman shares new details we've learned about the man who's charged and explains what's next in the case.
Kenneth Johnson walked into the courtroom Friday morning, his hands locked with the same handcuffs Officer Brian Elliott carried every day, all in front of dozens of Elliott's fellow Beech Grove officers who filled the courtroom standing watch for one of their own.
We all come together regardless of the color of our uniform, the shape of our badge, or the patch on our shoulder. We all have the same common goal, and that's to serve our community, to provide safety for our communities regardless, and we're all hurting.
Prosecutors for now are seeking life without parole if Johnson is convicted. The death penalty remains an option.
In these types of cases, the death penalty is always a consideration. We have conversations with our law enforcement partners. We have conversations with the family. We'll begin those conversations when they're ready.
New court documents reveal multiple neighbors called 911 Monday night after hearing a woman screaming inside Johnson's apartment. When Elliott and another officer arrived, they heard the same screams themselves and kicked the door. Police say Johnson opened fire as the door swung open. Fellow officers rushed both wounded officers to Eskenazi Hospital, where Elliott was pronounced dead. Investigators say Johnson jumped from a third-floor balcony and ran, sparking an hours-long manhunt. Officers found him hours later in a different apartment building's laundry room, reportedly with a handgun. After his arrest, court documents show Johnson told officers, quote, "I was the only one on scene. Y'all know it was me." A judge entered a not guilty plea on Johnson's behalf. He remains in custody as this case moves forward.
People are continuing to work on this case, gather information, and so it's going to be a long journey.
A long journey towards justice for the family and loved ones of Officer Brian Elliott. In Indianapolis, Ashton Hackman, 13 News.
Johnson will soon be transferred to a facility outside Marion County. His next court appearance is set for May 27th. A jury trial is set for June, but that is probably going to get pushed to a later date. All week, we've certainly seen an outpouring of support for Officer Elliott. That'll continue with a public visitation from 2 until 7 Sunday at Beech Grove High School. Officer Elliott's funeral is 11 o'clock Monday morning at Beech Grove High, with a procession to Crown Hill Cemetery to follow. We've got a full breakdown of that processional route posted right now on WTHR.com. Governor Mike Braun, by the way, has also ordered flags to be lowered to half-staff here in Marion County in Officer Elliott's honor. The trial for the man who's accused of killing Elwood police officer Noah Chanovez is delayed again. Today, a judge pushed the death penalty trial for Carl Boards II to July. He also ordered Boards to be moved to a state hospital to receive mental health services. Carl Boards is currently ruled incompetent to stand trial. A Hendricks County couple tonight is charged with neglect that resulted in the death of an 11-year-old girl. We've got Rich Nye in studio tonight with a look at disturbing court records in this case. Rich?
The couple told police that Oakland Vasquez was a problem child who injured herself. But other children in that home say she was locked in the basement, neglected, and abused. The Hendricks County Sheriff's Office spent over 18 hours on Valentine's Day gathering evidence at this house on US 40 in Stilesville. The investigation began with a 911 call around 1:30 a.m. for an unresponsive 11-year-old girl. Oakland Vasquez was found dead. Court records say that family members heard her father, Kenneth Vasquez, beating Oakland in the basement about 19 minutes before the 911 call. Investigators say that a search of the girl's basement bedroom revealed handprints and red stain consistent with blood on the wall, along with an indent in the drywall that contained hair. Kenneth and his wife Elba are charged with neglect of a dependent resulting in death. Court records say that Elba's adult son and other children in the home told police about neglect and abuse. They said Oakland was locked in the basement, denied clothing, forced to go to the bathroom in a bucket, and tied to a bed frame. Investigators described Oakland's body as appearing severely malnourished, with bruises on her arms, wrist, legs, and ankles.
Friday night is looking nice, but it's been a cold day. And of course,
Cold and
everybody,
windy.
yeah, windy for sure. And of course, everybody is talking about the storms yesterday, and Angela's got some new information about what we've learned.
Yeah, just within the last few minutes, final reports coming from the National Weather Service. 2 tornadoes, EF0 damage in Sullivan County, EF2 damage in Monroe County,
Right.
with winds estimated 120 miles per hour. We're going to hear from Jenna Webster in just a minute, but I wanted to quickly give you these survey results. The one near Bloomington, EF2 damage on the ground for about just under 4 miles. The Sullivan tornado, EF0 damage, 85 mile per hour estimated winds on the ground, just over 4 miles. Again, we will hear from Jenna in just a second. Wind gusts today, 20 to 30 miles per hour currently, but at times they've gusted over 40. It's been windy, it's been colder. Temperatures down more than 20 degrees from this time yesterday. 24-hour temperature change map. We're down 24 in Bloomington, down 23 in Indianapolis, down 25 degrees in Muncie. That puts temperatures across central Indiana in the 30s and 40s. 41 in Greensburg as the sun starts to set on this Friday evening. Looks great over Connorsville as well. 37, 38 at the Country Club of Indianapolis. Evening forecast skies will continue to clear. It is going to be chilly. Grab that heavier coat. You're going to need it tonight and as we head into the weekend. Saturday forecast, a mix of sun and clouds, low 40s. Slight rain chance south tomorrow. Then we'll talk snow showers in the Sunday forecast.
All right, Angela, thanks. Today in Bloomington, we saw businesses and homeowners cleaning up after that tornado. Our Jenna Webster is in a neighborhood near the Monroe County Airport where winds approached 100 miles per hour.
Being here, you get a sense, you can see just how strong those winds were last night. This house, the back of their roof was completely torn off. In fact, the wind's so strong, it carried pieces of the roof to a tree across the street. The storm's wind snapped trees and left siding ready to fall off homes with one good gust.
We still have our ceiling, but we do not have the roof. They're coming, I believe, today.
Carolyn Tilford's roof is down to the planks. Insulation is flying around her neighborhood, stuck to sides of homes and cars. She believes it's likely a tornado went right over her house.
My husband and I were just kind of, holding on to each other, and it was like, oh my gosh, and we were just praying to God. And
The storm also knocked out power. Poles snapped at their base.
We haven't had power since last night, so I know everybody's cold, so I'm just bringing hot chocolate and doing whatever I can to help neighbors.
Luckily, no injuries were reported in Bloomington during this storm. Jenna Webster, 13 News.
The Chicago Bears announced a potential site for a new football stadium in Hammond. Still ahead, we'll hear from fans in this area about what that move would mean to them. And Hoosier native Nick Gepper in action at the Winter Olympics today. We'll tell you where he finished in his quest for a medal next.